Everyone's good?
Hang on 1 second. Yes.
Wayne, first off, can we just get you to sort of state your name and, what brought, tell
Sophia
us what...
Wilansky. I received a call yesterday morning around 8 o'clock in the morning that my daughter was seriously injured, and got in a plane and got here as quick as I could. She was in surgery. She had about 8 hours of surgery yesterday.
And Sophia's 21,
Sophia's 21.
and she had gone to the Dakota Pipeline protests. How
Yeah.
come?
She went to the Dakota Pipeline protest because she feels very strongly that the environment is going to be crucial for the planet, and she wants to have a future where people have clean water and clean air and clean soil, and that we actually have an earth to live on for the next few generations.
And did you raise her to be,
I didn't raise her anything. She raised herself. She's a brilliant, strong, beautiful girl who is extraordinarily capable.
What was she doing there? Did she describe kind of daily activities?
I think the daily activities were best peaceful prayer and meditations and song and chanting. Yeah.
Did she describe what happened on Sunday night?
On the bridge, I think what she described was there was a truck on the bridge, and the police kind of intentionally left that truck on the bridge so that ambulances couldn't get back and forth, and people can't drive and get in and out of the area. So not only are people are getting intentionally hurt, but they can't get the kind of medical service that they need in a timely fashion. And part of Sophia's prognosis is harmed by the fact that it took 6 to 8 hours before she could actually have surgery, and time is of the essence, and they like to have this surgery happen within a few hours. So that's very, very upsetting that they still leave that truck there on the bridge and not letting ambulances come in and out of the site is, I don't know what to call it. It's a human rights violation as far as I can see.
What was she hit with?
She was hit with a grenade, an actual grenade, hit her right in the arm and pretty much took her arm almost off. One of the bones, the radius bone, is significantly missing, and all of the arteries are gone. And the main nerve is missing, and most of the muscle, about 80% of the muscle of the forearm is gone.
What is the prognosis? What is going on with the medical side of things right now?
Prognosis is watch and wait and have surgery. I mean, I think there'll be multiple surgeries over many weeks and months. And the best case scenario is that the arm and hand stay attached and that she has some function. They're not promising anything more than the very barest minimum of function if they're able to save her arm and hand.
Did she describe how everything happened on Sunday?
Yeah, I think there was an action, and I don't know the full details of the action, obviously. I'm not there. She described it a little bit, but they were trying to figure out a way of getting the car off the bridge so that ambulances could get in and out. And they were shot with these high-pressure water cannons in 20-degree temperature. A lot of people had hypothermia. I understand maybe as much as 100 people had hypothermia. My daughter was shot numerous times with bullets. She's got bullet wounds all over her body. Rubber bullets, plastic bullets. I don't know if they're actually rubber. They're made of some device that's less than lethal, but can maim somebody. The police officers apparently were shooting directly at people's faces and trying to hit the men in the groin. Sophia was hit in the groin, but she was dressed in such a manner that you couldn't really tell if she was a man or a woman, but they were intentionally trying to hit men in the groin with bullets. And they threw a grenade right at her. The grenade exploded right in her arm.
What kind of treatment has she had so far?
She's had amazing surgery so far. They've taken a vein out of her left thigh, and they've taken that vein and put it in her arm in such a way that it kind of mimics the radial artery. That's the one that runs along the thumb. And the palmar, the one in the center, the ulnar artery, they were not really able to, it wasn't able to work. They couldn't, they put a vein in there as well, but they were not able to get a pulse out of that side, the ulnar artery, which makes the whole situation a little bit complicated. And they still today, they may work on the nerve today, they're not sure, they may work on some tendons today. She has some very minimal movement of the fingers.
What is she saying?
She's devastated. She's a 21-year-old girl looking at her arm. you know, there's just no words to be a parent. And look at your kids. Look at her arm that's not there. You know, in America, what did you think with a grenade? She's not in Iraq or Afghanistan. This is like the wound of someone who is a warrior who was sent to fight in a war. This is not supposed to be war. She's peacefully trying to get people to not destroy the water supply. And they're trying to kill her.
How long had she been up there?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. So living up there.
She was living up there.
She was committed to this.
She was going to stay in her 35-degree below sleeping bag through the winter in a very cold North Dakota winter.
And this is an East Coast girl, so
She's an East Coast girl. She's not used to this. But she's dedicated to the cause and still dedicated to the cause.
Has she done something like this previously?
Yes.
Other protests?
Yes, she's been to other protests before. She's been arrested a few times for
All for environmental type.
for these things, oil, gas and oil from being transported to places that it's near water supply. There's a place in New York where they're running a gas pipe 100 yards away from Indian Point nuclear power plant, and so people are trying to stop that. There's a lot of superfluous piping that's going on all across the country. It's not even needed. They don't even need to run these pipelines, but there's so much profit and money in it that they're just going to run them everywhere until there's nothing left.
she get flown down here to Minneapolis.
She got flown to here from Minneapolis because they had vascular surgeons that could do the kind of surgery that she needed. And I think they would try to get her to Texas, but they didn't have staff on hand, and this is supposed to be a great hospital with, great vascular surgeons. So we're happy that she's here, and they did an amazing, amazing job so far, and they're going to continue to work on her, and I'm going to be here until it's done, however long that takes.
Did she have difficulty getting out from where she was
Yes.
injured? To describe that process and getting to Bismarck and getting down here.
She had, thankfully, miraculously, there was a woman on the bridge who I don't know her name, and I want to reach out to her. If I could find her, I'd love to talk to her. She had some Army experience. She was an Army veteran, and she was able to wrap her up and take her and carry her off the bridge and get her to a car, and they had to try to get their way to the casino. They drove a couple hours to a casino, I think, where they met an ambulance, and then from the ambulance at the casino, the Indian Affairs police were phenomenal. They were really, really good. And they got her to a hospital in Bismarck, North Dakota. And then from there, they didn't have the surgery team that they needed, so they flew her here. And that process took hours, and every minute counts. So.
What next steps are you planning to take in response to this?
I don't know yet. I mean, I made a complaint to the FBI last night. I've talked to the Justice Department, and they're doing an investigation. I certainly plan on having all of her clothing tested. There was some news reporting out there that was false, that the protesters attacked her, accidentally, some propane. That was just nonsensical reporting. The surgeon said he pulled shrapnel out of her arm, so it's pretty clear that there was a grenade that caused this, and not something else, not a propane fire, as the Morton County chief said. So, I'm going to take every possible step that I can, and, it's now my fight too. So, I'm going to do everything I can to help support the cause that she believes so strongly in.
What was it like to get that call?
I really don't want to talk about getting that call.
Describe that emotion. Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it everything?
I'm really, really angry. I mean, if I had the possibility of seeing the people that did this to her, it would not be pretty. I'm a peaceful person. I'm a yoga teacher as well as an attorney. But this is just outrageous that this happens in this country. And I'm only afraid that things are going to get worse.
I know there are far more important things, but this community has really just rallied in the last few hours. There's a vigil this afternoon. There's a GoFundMe page in your daughter's name that's raised, I think $150,000 in like
Yeah.
hours.
15 hours, $160,000.
Okay.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
that must mean something to you in terms of the.
I mean, I think it's amazing for my daughter that she has support from all over the world. I mean, she's. Could you imagine what this is like? She's actually in her room, and you know what she's afraid of right now? She is afraid that the people from Energy Transfer Partners are going to send somebody in here to kill her. She's actually fearful of her life, that there's some crazy right-wing crazy person out there that could come into the hospital, and she wants, me to stay around and watch her and make sure she's protected. This is a fear that she's got. It doesn't sound rational, but she's really afraid. And when I heard that, I was just like, oh my God, where do we live?
What else has she told you?
What else has she told me? I mean, she's told me that the police are trying to hurt people. They're not trying to control the situation. They're not trying to arrest people. They're trying to hurt people. Intentionally, purposefully hurt people. They're doing things that they don't care. Someone could die easily. They're shooting people in the head. Someone will die. If something isn't done, someone will die.
I think we're good, Wayne. Thank you so much for talking and sharing. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Could you just say and spell your first and last name, please?
Sure, it's Wayne Wilansky. Wilansky is Wilansky.
And where do you live?
I live in the Bronx in New York.
And how old are you?
I'm 61 next week.
Thank you.